Radical counter-programming we could think of. Delight.
Guess what? I'm waiting for my bus.
For instance, a 5-year-old who gets to ride the school bus for the very first time.
Oh, man.
That's my bus! It's really
An hour of delight this week.
Oh, I can listen to it over and over again.
Something about kids getting excited about stuff that makes you feel good, right? Welcome back. That was a clip of our July podcast of the month, a show that started on public radio in 1995 and made its way over to the podcasting space in 2006. The Pulitzer-winning show has over 2.6 million listeners, plus another 1.6 million on public radio stations.
Yeah, This American Life is the most popular weekly podcast in the world, and the host and creator of the show is with us to give us his lessons on success and longevity. Please welcome to the show, Ira Glass. First, congratulations. It's good to see you.
Nice to meet you guys.
All right, so This American Life, you've been doing it for 30 years, the podcast 20 years.
Yes.
For those who don't know about it, explain it to them.
I mean, the easiest way to describe the show is it's like movies for radio. It's like just stories. We choose people who are going to be fun to hear about, and we just tell what happens to them.
Yeah, it's done so well. Part of the show, you guys experiment a lot. So I'm curious, what has worked? And I'm also curious what hasn't worked.
Okay. The ones that work are easier to describe. Like we'll do stuff like we do all sorts of shows where we feel like, okay, we've never heard of anybody doing this. So we did 24 hours in a 24-hour diner. We did, my favorite episode is we followed one car dealership as they tried to just make their monthly quota. And so by the end of the month, it gets very dramatic as you hear guys like on the phone calling their nephews and nieces saying like, you get in a car. We do definitely try stuff all the time that fails. Like I would say like a third to a fourth of everything we try just dies.
But you keep trying.
Yes, yeah. I mean, when you're doing stories about real people, like the only thing you can do is just kind of like go out and just try the thing often and then just see how they talk and if the story ends up being as interesting as you hope.
You know, we can go back a decade, even longer. This show is pretty much credited for introducing the world to podcasts. Did you think it would take off like that? Are you still surprised?
I am. I mean, I definitely am surprised. Yeah. Like This American Life, like we were like an early show doing kind of like these sort of narrative journalism, and a lot of people then started doing that too because they just heard, oh, this is like a really fun way to tell a story and to do reporting. And then in 2013, Serial, we did, like some of our staff members did the show Serial. And that exploded in this way that like
people were obsessed with it.
Be really obsessed, and honestly, that really kicked off the podcasting boom. Like I think when you look at when money started coming to podcasting and people really noticed it, Serial. I mean, we just saw it as this project. I remember the producer Julie Snyder and the host Sarah Koenig would say like, "Oh, we can kind of do anything we want in this show because like nobody's going to hear it," and then like each episode. Of that first season had, on average, 20 million downloads. Like each episode was more popular.
Oh, nobody heard it.
Yeah, exactly. Each episode was more popular than the Game of Thrones finale. And it was just this cultural phenomenon. And, you know, they spoofed it on Saturday Night Live. And they, you know, just like people created podcasts about the Serial podcast doing recaps. And that is something like none of us ever anticipated because like none of us had ever seen anything that successful, honestly, like anything that just like went through the culture like that.
And I wanted to ask you, I mean, was there ever a time that you were ever concerned that this would make it? Because a lot of podcasts, you know, they're one-hit wonders.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't even think that ambitiously about it. We just thought like, oh, let's make this thing and see what it's like. Like we you know, and the fact that it took off was just like, oh, that's great.
And look at you now. Look at you now.
Yeah. We weren't thinking that far ahead.
Bravo.
Well, it's brilliantly done. Ira, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
This American Life is available everywhere you listen to podcasts.
So go out and support it.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.